Hey guys, so today is going to be a tag video, and I have not done a tag video in, I can even tell you how long. It's been a very long time. I don't know if it's because, not that people haven't tagged me, but because I just don't follow through with the tags. I don't know. But a Love Tart, Mary here on YouTube, Mary from a Love Tart here on YouTube, tagged me a few weeks back to do the Eyeshadow Junkie tag, and I thought it was fun. There are 10 questions talking all about eyeshadows, so I thought I would go ahead and jump right in and do it for you guys. Question number 1, favorite drugstore line for eyeshadows. So hands down, and especially now that they have come in drugstores, because CVS now sells this, Target sells this, HEB sells this if you're in Texas. My most favorite drugstore line of eyeshadows is e.l.f., hands down. Really close second would be Wet n Wild's, but I unfortunately have got rid of all of my trios and my palettes from Wet n Wild and have only kept 2 singles. Wet n Wild is a really great brand as well to have really inexpensive eyeshadows, but I feel like e.l.f. for the most part measures up completely. The 2 palettes that I have, this one is the Prism palette in Naked, and this one is Mad for Matte. The Mad for Matte is probably my favorite. I actually recently did a declutter, and my Sonia Kashuk neutral, which is completely raved about here on YouTube, was forfeited to this guy. So these shadows are just really nice, very pigmented, super soft, very buttery, and really inexpensive. I love these shadows. They're seriously the only neutral matte shadows that I reach for. And did I mention inexpensive? That palette's $10, and most of the time, like let's say you weren't going to buy it at the drugstore, CVS or Target, you could find it for really inexpensive on e.l.f.'s website. The Prism eyeshadow palette, I did get rid of the other 2 colors in this line just because I'm more of a neutrals person, and the smoky and the like corally tropical colors just weren't cutting it for me. But these are so, again, pigmented and buttery. I love these shimmery shadows. They're on the complete opposite spectrum of the shadows there, but you can see how beautiful. So pretty. I love these. Question number 2, favorite eyeshadow primer. So again, hands down, most favorite primer is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. It is just a very clear, sticky base that goes on, and it doesn't give you much coverage to your eyes, so it's not like you can put it on and like a MAC painterly paint pot or anything and, you know, wipe out the veins and stuff in your eyes, but it holds on to my shadows better than anything I have ever come across. It leaves it nice and smooth. It's not, like I said, too sticky. The eyeshadows grab nicely on it. They look beautiful over it, and for oily eyelids, this is by far the best primer I have ever tried. Number 3, first ever eyeshadow purchase, and do you still use it? So when I first started getting into makeup, I guess it was high school, like 8th, 9th grade, somewhere around there, and my mom never wore makeup growing up, so I never truly got into makeup like a normal, probably teenage girl would. So the very first thing that I purchased, I'll never forget, was a single eyeshadow. I don't remember the name of it, but it was by CoverGirl, and it was the packaging that was clear on the front, and it had like shimmering sands still comes in that packaging. It has like a blue clear acrylic back to it, and then it's got like a clear package that goes over it, and it was a pink individual eyeshadow, and I wore it from my lashes to my brows. I kid you not. I have a picture somewhere. I wish I could find it so that I could show it to you guys, but oh my gosh, like looking back on pictures, my eyes were just like boom. And I used to wear all kinds of crazy things. I was into eyeliner, so I did wear a lot of liner on my lower waterline and stuff like that, but that was pretty typical. Mascara. But the eyeshadow, that was the first thing that I purchased, and I'm not sure why. So no, clearly I do not still use that. Number 4, best drugstore eyeshadow dupe. This one was actually really tough for me because I don't own a ton of drugstore eyeshadows, and I don't have a ton of high-end eyeshadows that have dupes for them. Aside from like neutrals, I don't have a ton of unique colors in my collection. So one that I did kind of find that is very similar, I wouldn't say it's 100% dupe, but I did find something that was even more similar to it, and that is Nettie from Wet n Wild. It's the individual shadow, and a lot of people have compared this to Satin Taupe from MAC. And I'm going to show you guys a comparison here in the pot and then on a swatch. So there's the 2 side by side. They don't really look super similar in the pot. Satin Taupe definitely has more of like a brown undertone, whereas Nutty from Wet n Wild is more of a reddish undertone. So let me swatch them and I'll show you guys. Okay, so there's the two swatch side by side. This is Satin Taupe and this is Nutty. You can even see in the swatches that Satin Taupe leans more on the brown side and brown taupey, and this is definitely has a warmer reddish undertone to it, but they are very similar. One that I wanted to show you guys that I wanted to talk about as like a semi-dupe is Cruisin' Chic from e.l.f. It's the smudge pot. This is a cream shadow, so it does have a different texture, but the color is really similar to Satin Taupe. So there's Cruisin' Chic there. So that definitely leans a little closer to Satin Taupe than the Nutty, but they're all kind of in the same color family. So not 100% dupes, but definitely would work from afar. Number 5, most underrated. What you hear about the least but love. This includes singles and palettes. So one thing I have, this brand is talked about a gajillion times here on YouTube, but this particular palette I don't hear that much about. It's the Lorac Pro Metal palette, and I've talked about this several times on my channel. It is just this little guy. It comes with 8 shadows. So again, Lorac is talked about a lot on YouTube, whether it be the Pro, the Mega Pro, you know, whatever the case may be. The eyeshadows are just so buttery and creamy, but this specific palette, for some reason, I have never seen anyone use it in a tutorial nor talk about it in their videos, which is odd to me because I think this was like $28, and the colors in here are so gorgeous, like especially this rose gold color. I mean, Lorac shadows are beautiful no matter how you look at it, but these colors in here are just to die for. There's 2 of the standout colors to me there. There's rose gold and this one is quartz, no, cobalt. Those are so beautiful. Rose gold is probably my favorite out of the entire palette, which like I said is this one here, and it's, nope, this one here, and it's just so pretty. I love this palette. It's very well rounded. It has a highlight, a darker shade, a transition shade, and lots of lid colors. And I think it's a great little travel palette, but like I said, no one talks about it. Number 6, favorite single eyeshadow. So I touched on this earlier. I don't really have too many single eyeshadows, but my favorite by far are from Wet n Wild. I have 2 in Nutty and Brulee. Brulee is talked about 100% on here from like everyone, their mother, and on YouTube. It is a beautiful creamy color that is great for all over the lid. It's great for setting the brow bone. It's great for setting the under eyes. It's just an amazing shadow, and you can usually get these for 99 cents. It's an amazing shadow all the way around, but for the price point, it makes it even that much better. And I already showed you guys Nutty, but it is a great, again, like everyday neutral type color. Staples for sure that you need in your collection if you don't already have them. Number 7, favorite cream shadow, and I talked about this already as well. It's the e.l.f. Smudge Pot in Cruisin' Chic. I like a lot of these colors. This one in particular is my favorite. I saved the swatch there for you. It comes with a lot of product. I think this is from e.l.f.'s $2 line, and again, you can get it at the drugstore, or if you order from their website, you can get it super inexpensively. Now, I don't particularly care for the packaging. My nails, like even when I was getting the swatch, the product gets stuck under my nails quite a bit, but for the color, for the wearability of it, is an amazing day-to-day, everyday type neutral color. And again, the lasting power of it is awesome. I can put this on without even putting a primer and it will last me all day. Number 8, favorite neutral eyeshadows. So I have 2, I don't know if that's cheating, but I have 2 palettes that I really want to talk about as far as neutral shadows go that are my favorite. This one unfortunately is discontinued. It's the It's Judy Time palette from BH Cosmetics. I love Judy and her family, but aside from that, the palette is really great. It's a really great quality. It was inexpensive, and there's a variety of colors in here that would work great, I feel like, with any skin tone for any look that you're trying to achieve. This is also some of my favorite colored shadows that I own, so I really like that. It's a very well-rounded palette. But to go along with that, my Naked from Urban Decay, the original Naked palette, is probably my all-time favorite palette when I don't know what to wear. I have several other palettes that are my all-time favorite palettes, but I don't gravitate towards them if I'm confused on what to wear. So if I'm confused on what to wear, I always go for this guy. I always reach for him no matter what if I'm unsure of what I'm going to wear, and I know I can get a go-to neutral look from here like that. Number 9, favorite colored eyeshadow. I touched on that in my It's Judy Time palette. I don't have too many colored eyeshadows, but when I do reach for a color, it usually is a blue color or a purple color. I also have another little palette here from Smashbox that I don't use too frequently, but I have reached for some of the darker colors in this palette, especially like this emerald green and the maroon. It also has a really nice blue and purple in here, so these are really great as well. And this is the On the Rocks palette. And then, as I stated earlier, the Lorac palette does have a couple of fun colors in here with that cobalt and the clover, which is like a lime green, so I really like that as well. And then number 10, best eyeshadow palette ever, with like 10 exclamation points. Ta-da! My Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette. So this is the second edition, the blue one. The first Mega Pro palette is like a maroon color. This by far is my most favorite palette, and I think it is because of how much diversity the palette has as a whole. It has so many eyeshadows, 32 to be exact. It has all kinds of colors in it, all kinds of mattes, and I love the fact that the palette in general has 2 rows of mattes, 2 rows of shimmery, and then there's like a variety of colors within each finish of the eyeshadow. For the price on this, I think it was like 50 some odd dollars. You cannot beat that. You're getting 3 times as many shadows as an Urban Decay Naked. Yes, the Lorac shadows are a lot more powdery, yes, than the Urban Decay, so that you're going to go through them quicker. But let's face it, if you're watching beauty videos, you probably have a large collection of eyeshadows, and you're probably never going to finish anything up anyway. So why not get more bang for your buck, I feel like. The Urban Decay Naked palette is my go-to. Ride or die, like I would, holy grail, never get rid of this palette. It is my go-to. But the Lorac Mega Pro 2 is probably my all-time favorite for finish, for quality, for diversity, and for just overall awesomeness. So that was the end of my Eyeshadow Junkie tag. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to leave me comments down below. If I tag anybody specifically, I will leave their links in the bottom bar below. But if not, if you do videos and you want to do this video, I tag you. Do it. It was really fun to go through my eyeshadow collection, which is not something that I go through very frequently, and kind of scope out what I have and see what some of my favorites are. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, don't forget to leave me what you thought in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!